Now imagine that you could have a YouTube channel and you didn't need to edit at all. So today let's explore how you could make YouTube channels if you don't like any editing, and there's some different ways that you can do to still keep the attention, and we're going to explore this in this video. Number one is that, like I'm doing right here. There's different ways that you can do this, and we see this all the time on YouTube. Right now it's very popular. Right now it's popular to either draw on, maybe if you do it on a device. I don't have one of these fancy iPad Pros that you can draw on, but one of the things is you can draw on an iPad. This is me trying to draw an iPad here, and if you have a hand here, oh yeah, oh, maybe it's some guy who is stabbing an iPad, but this is supposed to be an iPad that you can draw on, and I know that you can actually record your screen while drawing on an iPad. I've seen this many times. I know that this is something that you can look to the creator called Nolan Mode that you've maybe already seen. He does this a lot on his channel. And then there is actually drawing like I'm doing right here, drawing with your hands. This is something that I can connect to more. I like this kind of thing because it feels more authentic. And in my area of content, I know that there is a different kind of YouTubers who do this. If you want to see more, have more examples on YouTubers who do this. But we are at drawing, you can actually tell the story as you go along, and you can even like expand on it, and you can keep the attention. The thing is, when you draw, something always is always happening on screen. Something is changing, and that's cool. And a creator who uses drawings will be, I don't know if it's Nathan or Nate Black. He was the former creator of Channel Makers. And I also just wanted to say that Casey Neistat has done it a lot. I don't know if he draws himself on his channel or if somebody else draws for him. That doesn't really, is not the point here. But so that you can either draw on your iPad or a device that can do it like this. I will say iPad like this, and you can draw on your by hand. Or there's something that's happening a lot right now on YouTube. That's not an option I have, but maybe you have access to this. I don't. It's drawing on a whiteboard. I see so many. Maybe for teaching right now, this would be one of the most popular ways to make content right now. There is a lot of videos out there, plus 1 hour long. It's not supposed to be 7 hours. 1 plus 1 hours long videos with teachers who are teaching on whiteboards. I don't really have an example right now. I think Alex Hormozi does it, but there is a lot of other guys, especially in the finance and in teaching. I don't remember if it's teaching business or if it's teaching. I think I even seen somebody who taught some math who made it fun to look at because there was a whiteboard right while this was happening. And even no matter which way you're drawing, if you're drawing in hand or if you're drawing on an iPod or if you're drawing on a whiteboard like this, something can happen all the time when you talk. And this is something to keep the users or keep the viewers, keep you guys engaged while this is happening. I have a different method as well. Let's put this over as the first one. Let's call this number 1. Drawing. Number 2 on my list is walk and talk. There is oops, number 2. Can you see there's a 2? Like this. I don't like to do that, but by walking while you are talking and filming yourself on a camera. This is the camera here, and this is the person who are okay. Stick figure person. This is the camera on a selfie stick, right? It's pointing at the person here, and it's recording everything. See, when you are walking and talking, the thing is that the background will keep moving, and something keeps changing in the picture or in the frame. This makes it more engaging and more fun to look at. The best way to do this is that if the background around you is actually something that's related to what you are talking about. And that's of course easier if you are a travel vlogger or a video person, so that whenever you make your videos, you will show up with the background changing, or the background being related to what you are talking about. And this can be somewhat, okay, this is supposed to be a camera here, but this can be done without editing, because that if you are changing it up. Also, maybe this could be done with what I would like to call minimal editing, because with no editing is not really the thing, because I'm also going to, even though this is kind of no edited, I'm also going to trim the beginning and trim the end, and I'm also going to boost the volume of the audio so that everything is loud and clear on YouTube. With walking and talking, that requires you to go out and about, and that's of course maybe good for traveling, and it was also good for this was good for finance, business, math, like everything that you're teaching. Let's just call this teaching. Walking and talking can also be used for teaching, or like lifestyle, I would like to call it, because this is if you have something like opinions and something that you just want to talk about, like subjects in life. It's not that it has to be like fashion or something. I'm talking about like your opinions on something. I would even say that the format could be used for politics, and this could also be used for politics. This could also be used for news, because that is supposed to be news, because we've seen news reporters, we've like grown up with news reporters being recorded on the spot talking to, this is supposed to be a microphone here. Okay, I can't draw like this on the spot. Like they are right here and reporting on the scene, on the news. And you can do that if you have something that you want to report on. You can also do the politics and teaching. Like if you ever know a creator who's called, he's not active right now, but he is one of the bigger creators on the platform, Tom Scott. He uses this a lot to like talk about a location or a place or in some sort of information where the place he is related to the information that he's teaching or talking about. So if there is something about I remember watching a video of him where he was in a field just talking about I think it was the name of the field or name of the place, and he has done that a lot. So number 1 is drawing, number 2 is walking and talking. Number 3 is something that could be used for many types of content. And that's something that I think is very popular to do. It's point of view. And I even think that this is more popular to do than, I think it's underrated. It's something that you can do while cooking. This is supposed to be yeah, you can do it while cooking because cooking videos is maybe even more engaging if you do it like a point of view thing. You could do it while gardening and hobbies. Let's just say all hobbies, and you can do it while DIYing and so on. And in this, you would maybe also want to cut away if there is long segments of drought, like just cut that away. But I'm not talking about over editing stuff. I'm just talking about if you're cooking or if you're doing something in your hobby or doing something like gardening or DIYing, maybe there is some sort of stuff you're doing for a longer period of time, then you could cut that away. But I would try to do this with no cuts, because I feel like there is a sentiment out there for cozy vibes and just talking and like having a cozy time, just talking and chit-chatting, like small talking while you're doing it. I imagine a channel where somebody who's doing some sort of DIY, maybe it's knitting or maybe it's something else, but imagine a more let's just say a experienced individual, like and right now 40 plus is the most growing audience on YouTube, and the creators. The 40 plus year olds are the most growing right now. But imagine you had I don't know how to draw knitting here, but imagine you had a person with point of view knitting here, and then something, maybe a cat running around in the background here, and something else, and maybe sometimes even sipping a cup of coffee and listening to some sort of like cozy music while doing it, and then talking about, of course, showing you how to do this, but between showing how to do the knitting or the cooking or the gardening, then just talking about life in general. There's a popular show in my country, an older show that's the presenter isn't. I think he's still alive, but he's really old. He showed his garden, and it was uncut, just 30 minutes of him talking about the garden. And in between talking about the garden, he talked about the kids and later of the grandkids, what they were doing in the places. It was maybe more of a walk and talk thing, but he was like talking about maybe some of his plants or some of what he was doing in the garden, and then just weaved in stories of what was happening right now. This is something that's being replicated. There's 2 shows now on our national TV that does this with gardening. One is this is what we talked about. One is where it's more like a homesteader, and the other one is just about gardening. So I feel like these are the biggest 3 that everyone can do. I'd like to say an extra, maybe we'll do an extra here. Something that can be done uncut is something that I don't like to use, but I've seen a lot of creators that gamed while talking about something else completely. Maybe they would be talking about, I've seen this, I can't remember, I think maybe the channel is called Money Maxing or something, where somebody who talks about YouTube, being better on YouTube while gaming. I've seen somebody who talked about, let me take another marker here, talked about the news while gaming, but these news were like for, I would say, 16-year-olds, because they were maybe it was to 20, because it was a news or rumors or what do you call it, drama about celebrities and like internet celebrities, but while talking about it they were gaming. And this is something that's been done a long time. I don't know about this. I don't like it. My opinion is, I think right now the point of view stuff is something that could really take off, but the walk and talk has been popular for ages, and drawing is also something that's being used right now. And this was, see if I can end this right here. This was my take on how you could do a completely unedited video on YouTube and still have something that's happening while talking about the video. I would also encourage you to not be afraid of doing unedited videos that's just talking to the camera, because that's also practicing in talking, and I'm doing that on this channel. But that's something that if you establish the connection with the viewer on the other side, that's something you do on your channel. Talking, having a cozy vibe time, and just being there together like we are sitting here, us two right now. Then if the user and if the viewer and the audience like that, then you are making a channel that's so much easier to maintain and to upkeep and keep on creating content. So imagine this, you are actually ending up creating content that's easier for you to make and for the audience who are there because they enjoy that kind of content. So it's more sustainable, it encourages less burnout, it's more fun, and it's more authentic. Thank you so much for watching. I will hope to see you in the comments in the future. Bye.